Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Dynamo video. In this one, we're talking about Sunday night football between the Bears and the Chargers, and it's the Justin Fields-less Bears we got. So, going to be an interesting game. Both of these teams have really bad pass defenses, so probably going to go big with this game script here. But if you guys are playing on Prizepicks, you definitely should be playing on Thrive as well. It's the same thing over there, but you get 100% deposit match up to $250 plus a free square for this game. Justin Herbert over a half a pass yard. They also have slightly higher payouts over here than Prizepicks and some interesting props like longest completion, longest reception. So definitely check out Thrive. It'll be linked down below. For this game, I'm expecting a higher scoring game. Two bad pass defenses like I mentioned early in the video. You can see this game has a 8.5 point spread, 46.5 point line. I think it's going to be a little closer than 8.5 points, and I might be taking the over on this, even though it is pretty high line. I think it's going to be slightly higher just because both these pass defenses have not been able to stop anyone. And obviously we got Justin Herbert over here, and then Tyson Bagent, who actually has a pretty big arm, but I don't think he got fully unleashed last week. They might be putting some more stuff in for him this week, so I'm expecting a bigger game from him as well. So the first pick over here, we got to start with a quarterback and then pair some guys with him. We got Tyson Bagent over 203.5 yards, very low line. Obviously last week he only threw for 162 against Vegas, but Vegas actually surprisingly has a good pass defense. You can see passing yards allowed per game. Chargers allow 310, by far the most in the league. And then Chicago averages 257 a game, which is basically third most in the league. What I just mentioned, Vegas is the fifth best pass defense, and they played Tyson Bagent last week. So I think he could be unleashed in this game, taking the over on Bagent in this one. And then a guy I'm pairing him with, it's got to be DJ Moore, DJ Moore, 58.5 receiving yards. He was the favorite target of Bagent last week, and it seems like a pretty low line, especially if we're taking over on the pass yards. His favorite receiver you think is going to have more than 59 receiving yards if Bagent is hitting this, so a nice little game stack there. We could take a look at DJ Moore over here on Outlier, which they do have a free week trial on Outlier if you want to check it out. In the description, over on 58.5 receiving yards against the worst ranked pass defense in the NFL, giving up 335 receiving yards per game. It's pretty absurd. DJ Moore hasn't hit this in the last two games. They've been rough games, obviously, with Bagent playing against Vegas, and then Minnesota was just a rough game. But we can see that he still is seeing 8 targets, caught 5 of them versus Minnesota, and saw 9 targets, caught 8 of them against Vegas. And DJ Moore is such a good run after the catch guy that you think if he's catching 8 balls, he's got to break one at some point for like a 30 plus yard gain, and then can hit this. Bagent's just going to be thrown to him all over the place, letting him run after the catch. So I do like DJ Moore. But the guy that I am not a fan of in this game is going to be Cole Kmet, who has just seen his production drop off massively. And I thought that they had a reception. If you see the reception at 3.5, I would rather take the under on that than the receiving yards. But 31.5 is higher than most other sites have him right now. So I do post these picks in the paid Discord, because you might see these lines change a lot before this game actually starts. So just know they are posted in there if you want to get these lines before the video comes out. We can get some better lines here. But Kmet going on the under, and the reason why, if we look at Kmet, his line's at 29.5 most places, and the under is at 29.5. Caesars has it minus 135, so they actually really like it. Last game, he had 0 receiving yards. The game before that, he had 9 receiving yards. Has not been pretty for Kmet lately. Just hasn't been involved in the offense at all. 0 targets last week. And the game before that, 3 targets, 2 catches. So I'd rather go to the under on catches of 3.5, but we'll take the yardage at 31.5 because all these other sites really have it at 29.5 or 30.5. So getting a bit of savings, but I would rather go to the catches. So if that pops up, to take that one instead of the yards if you are trailing any of these picks. But as always, do your own research on the picks before placing any bets. So now we're going to come to the Chargers. Justin Herbert going the over 265.5. Herbert has not been able to face a defense that gives up this many yards here. So taking the over, we could even see this line drop. It opened at 266.5. Some sites have it down to 263.5. So you might be able to get a better deal if you wait, but 29th ranked in the past, 257 last week through 259 against a pretty tough Kansas City defense. Then played Dallas before that, another tough defense. Vegas, like I said, is a really highly ranked pass defense. Before that, 405, 305. So I think Herbert's going to get back to it in this one and hit this yardage mark. Last season, in 12 of 18 games, he hit over this yardage mark as well. So definitely am liking Herbert. Also, a cool thing we can do on Outlier here that has that free week trial. So you can see 12 of 18 last season, but if you only look at games last season where he played with Keenan Allen, 9 of 11 games went over that total. So he has Keenan Allen in this game. Definitely a cool stat and feature they have over here on Outlier. So now we got Herbert in there. Actually, we're going to go to Austin Eckler under on his rushing yards, 52.5. You hate to see it, but their rushing offense has just been atrocious. And Eckler came back, didn't help that much. And then I think just in this one, it's going to be a passing game. So I'm staying away from Eckler on this. We are getting a good deal as well on Eckler. If we come over here, you can see all these other sites have him at 49.5. So actually getting a 3 yards of savings. And just, he's only played in 3 games this year, but the last 2 he played has gone well under 53 yards. The rushing game has been terrible. Chicago has the 5th ranked rushing defense in the league as well. So while both these offenses give up a ton of passing yards, their rushing defenses are pretty solid actually. And it's not like for a lack of attempts, 14 and 14 the last 2 games. It's just been bad. I think they're going to be dominant in the pass game and not even really have to worry about running the ball. They're going to be up in this game most likely, throwing the ball all over the place. So I don't think running the ball is going to be a huge part of the game plan, but I do think Chicago will keep it within 2 scores. So they're not going to be like running the clock the whole game. So I think this is the 5 that I'm going to be going with. If you guys enjoyed this one and like playing on Prizepicks, definitely check out Thrive, link down below. 100% deposit match plus this free square on Herbert when you deposit at least $25 for new users. Also check out Outlier. They have a free trial, link down below. A lot of cool stats and ways to find the best player props. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, subscribe to the channel. Check out the links down below, and we'll see you in another video.